Hello, I am Dr. Madhu Sharma from Concepts in Microbiology. I'll be talking about cultural characteristics of bacteria. Now, why do we need to study the cultural characteristics? Because on a different culture media, organisms will show differences in their cultural characters when you examine them microscopically or with the naked eye. And these features, they are important in identification and classification. It also helps to make a presumptive diagnosis based on which you can apply further identification tests. So, what is the importance of cultural characteristic studies? That is for identification and as well as for classification into taxonomic groups. Now, the cultural characteristics can be studied on either on the liquid culture medium or on the solid culture medium. So, on the liquid medium, that is basically what we use is a nutrient broth. These are evaluated on the distribution and appearance of the growth. The growth may appear in the form of either uniform fine turbidity, granularity, pellicle formation, which will be a surface pellicle, or sediment or deposit. So all this gives you the hint regarding what type of organisms might be present in the culture. Then on the solid medium, the colonies they appear. So the colony characteristics are studied after overnight incubation of the inoculated culture plates in the incubator, and these should be examined in the bright light. And you have to study only the isolated colonies for appropriate diagnosis. Now the colony characteristics can be studied on these formats or these points, and basically again we use nutrient agar, which is a basal medium. So the first point is of when you study the colony is the size of the colony. So you have to measure the size of a single colony, and this has to be described in millimeter. You can also describe them as small, large, pinpoint or pinhead. Then second is the shape of the colony. Whether the colony it is circular, it is oval, it is oblong, it is irregular. And when we talk about shape, we talk in respect to the line of inoculation. Then the margins. Whether the margins are entire, they are lobate, they are undulate, they are serrate, they are filamentous. Then the elevations of the colony. So to study this, you have to bring the culture plate to your eye level, and then in respect to the culture media, see if the colony they are flat, they are raised, they are convex or they are umbonate. Then is the pigmentation. What is the color of the colony? Because typical color of the colony can give you the hint regarding what type of organism may be present, because some organisms they give color. So the various colors shown by different organisms can be golden yellow, green, red, pink, white, buff, etc. Then is the smell of the colonies or smell from the growth. This is called as odor. And again, some organisms they produce peculiar smell, and this can be another important identification point. For example, they might produce fruity odor, they might produce fishy odor or fecal odor. Then is the consistency of the colony, whether the colonies they appear dry, moist or mucoid. Then is the density, whether the colonies are opaque, they are translucent or transparent. Then you study the surface of the colony, whether the surface is appearing smooth, it is wavy, it is rough, it is glistening. And the last point in the colony characteristics is the emulsifiability, whether the colonies they are emulsifiable in normal saline or they are non-emulsifiable. The certain other points can also be studied on special medias, like on blood agar, certain colonies they show a typical feature of hemolysis. Hemolysis is lysis of red blood cells. So there are different types of hemolysis we know of. It can be complete hemolysis or it can be incomplete hemolysis, and some organisms may not show any hemolysis. So all this gives you again hint regarding what type of organism may be present. Then, for example, if you study the organism on a McConkey's agar. Now, McConkey's agar is a differential medium and it has a capacity to differentiate between lactose fermenting and non-lactose fermenting organisms. So again, it gives you the hint regarding what type of organism may be present. So this is again an important cultural characteristic of the organism. So just to revise, if you see it on solid culture media, you have to study certain points, certain features, for example, shape, margin and elevation. And there are other points also. Just to show you that shape can be round, irregular, oval, oblong. Margins can be entire, undulate, lobate. So this will be the appearance, how they will appear. Elevation can be in respect to the culture medium, flat, raised or convex. And on liquid culture media, they can be showing either granularity or surface pellicle formation or deposit. So that's all for the cultural characteristics. Thank you so much.